In the last 2 days, we've seen nothing but the greatest and the strongest fallout, and not to mention the strongest meltdown from Donald Trump on Truth Social. Before and after the affidavit was exposed to the rest of the country about why the FBI and the DOJ decided to search Donald Trump's home in Mar-a-Lago. Now, we've seen meltdowns from Donald Trump before, but this has got to be the worst. Everything he says in these truths is a complete, total lie. Now, there are a few of them, so try to bear with me on this. Even though I'm innocent as a person can be, and despite my campaign being spied on by the radical left, the vice court being lied to and defrauded, and all the money hoaxes and scams that were illegally placed on me by very sick and demented people, and without mentioning the many crimes of Joe and Hunter Biden, all revealed in great detail from in the laptop from hell, it looks like more and more like the fake news is pushing hard for the sleaze to do something that should not be done. Oh man, this is just the first one, and it just keeps getting worse from there. Joe Biden said he knew nothing about the break-in at Mar-a-Lago or the greatest political attack in the history of the U.S. Does anyone really believe this? Actually, I kind of do believe it, considering the fact we're talking about a man who has bigger and more important things to worry about than an ex-president still trying to keep his power to stay out of prison. So do you know about it? I don't know. But in all seriousness, he has more important things to worry about than you, Trump. The radical left Democrat prosecutors are illegally trying to circumvent, for purely political gain, the Presidential Records Act, which I have done absolutely nothing wrong. It cannot be circumvented for me or for any other president. They illegally raided my home and took things that should not have been taken. They even broke into my safe, an unthinkable act. This is just getting ridiculous at this point. You did try to circumvent the Presidential Records Act. In my last video, I talked about the affidavit itself, showing that you had absolutely no clue whatsoever that you did nothing. You didn't take the steps to try to declassify any of the records. All you did was try to steal, and take classified materials. And you're damn right they had every right to go into your safe. Because apparently you didn't secure the area that needed to be secured to keep classified material in. And he just screams Presidential Records Act in this one. The Justice Department and FBI are leaking at levels never seen before. I did nothing wrong. Trump, you can keep screaming that over and over again, but in the end of the day, you did do everything wrong. In fact, the worst part is, you know you did everything wrong. You have no idea how much damage you've done to yourself and done to this country. Who is going to trust the United States after everything you've done at this point? And this is the last truth, not too long after after the affidavit was unsealed and made public. Affidavit heavily redacted, nothing mentioned on nuclear, a total public relations subterfuge by the FBI and DOJ, or our close working relationship regarding document turnover. We gave them much. Wow. Judge Bruce Reinhardt should never have allowed the break-in of my home. He recused himself 2 months ago from one of my cases based on his animosity and hatred towards your favorite president, me. What changed? Why hasn't he recused himself on this case? Obama must be very proud of him right now. Witch hunt. I really don't know what to say about any of this. But of course, he had to post this photo afterward. They missed the page, of course, highlighting those words, "Make America Great Again." The only way we're going to make America great again, Trump, is by throwing your dumbass in prison. Right now, these truths make you into a very, very desperate man. You're desperate to try to stay out of prison. You're desperate to get back into the White House so you could possibly, theoretically, stay out of prison. But sooner or later, you're going to cut some kind of deal and you're going to throw someone under the bus. Me personally, I hope it's your sons, Beavis and Butthead. I hope it's your daughter, Skipper. I really hope it's some Republican in Congress who's trying to make his bones by latching onto you. It's inevitable, Trump. You're a coward. You say you did nothing wrong? Prove you did nothing wrong. You've had ample opportunities to prove you did nothing wrong. And to this day, you've done nothing to prove you did nothing wrong. You haven't released any documents saying that you declassified them. You haven't testified before Congress during the January 6th committee. You're trying to fight that from being subpoenaed in the Georgia voting probe. One way or another, you're going to get got. The only way that does not happen for you is one of two ways. If you roll on somebody and put all the blame on them, and maybe you can get some cush deal, or you take the coward's way out. And I'm not talking the coward's way out as in getting on the jet and flying to Russia. I'm talking the ultimate coward's way out. It's going to happen, Trump. You're too much of a narcissist and too much of a sociopath for it not to happen. And all you have to do, and the only person in this world you have to blame is yourself. It's a shame that you can't be a man for once in your miserable life and take responsibility for anything. So now, since you don't want to take responsibility, we're going to force you and the rest of your followers to take responsibility. If that doesn't work, and honestly, all the indications show that it will, you and your followers are going to have to live the rest of your miserable lives knowing that you're a criminal and they support the criminal. CTP, know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.